Welcome to my countdown of films from 2010, arranged from best to worst. This time I've grouped the films into three categories: good, mediocre, and bad. Keep in mind that I can't include Scott Pilgrim, Harry Potter 7, or Splice in the good category, as I haven't seen them. I also can't comment on Last Airbender or Robin Hood in the bad category, as I haven't seen those either. So many critics are raving about Darren Aronofsky's Black Swan, but it won't come out in Australia until mid-January 2011. Still, I look forward to calling Black Swan one of my favourite films of 2011. So, let's get started with the top 4 good movies of this past year. Filmed in Australia by Michael and Peter Spierig, Daybreakers is a dark, gory, pulse-pounding horror film that surprisingly avoids most horror cliches. 10 years after a disease turned most of the human population into vampires, the blood shortage is now critical. As a major corporation, helmed by the coldly charismatic Sam Neill, rounds up the last remaining humans, Ethan Hawke's protagonist strives to find a blood substitute, or, ideally, a cure for vampirism, before the vampire society descends into savagery. The blood shortage is a clever allegory for our own oil industry, as the vampires are consuming blood, a non-renewable resource, without a backup plan for when it runs out. Daybreakers is also an incredibly tense movie. When vampires go without blood for too long, they degenerate into mindless, bat-like creatures. Since the blood crisis is a major conflict in Daybreakers, you are acutely aware that any of the people on screen could become a monster. This realization puts you on the edge of your seat. The action is awesome and visceral, the plot is fast-paced and topical, and the performances are engaging. My only minor problems would be that the characters are a little one-dimensional, and the ending felt open-ended, without resolving much. Still, Daybreakers is one of the best movies of 2010. The Road film, directed by John Hillcoat, is actually better than the novel by Cormac McCarthy. Need I say more? The bleak, grey visuals superbly depict a dead world, and Viggo Mortensen and Cody Smith-McPhee's remarkable performances convey the hunger, exhaustion, desperation, and lingering hope of a father and son in post-apocalyptic America. Being a film, The Road also lacks McCarthy's ungrammatical style of writing that made his prose hard to follow and the emotions hard to gauge. In the movie, the emotions are always hard-hitting and never ambiguous. The Road is a harrowing but sometimes charming tale of how goodness and decency can survive even after the end of the world.